In today's episode of The House, our antagonist nukes the Middle East, invades America, gasses London, Paris, and Stanford, we obey, and invades Europe. And that is only half of it. Today, ladies and gentlemen, we will be reviewing one of the greatest antagonist duos in gaming history, and tying in probably the greatest Call of Duty character ever. If you don't know what's going on, you'll figure it out soon. A civil war breaks out in Russia, and it's kind of going south real fast. In the midst of that, Price, Soap, and the OG team are sent to nab some suspicious cargo on an even more suspicious ship. After raiding said ship, they find a nuclear container with Arabic writing. They were about to confiscate it, but then they get word of some anti-ship jet, possibly a MiG, coming to hide the evidence and presumably them with it. So they grab what they can and hastily and dramatically jump ship. Now, while the subjects of our video didn't do this personally, they were directly involved. So Al-Assad kidnaps the president of this Middle Eastern country and spouts some kind of speech before executing him on live television. I don't remember exactly what he said because I kind of filtered him out. Sorry, I only hear things in freedom units and democracy chants. Nonetheless, Price and gang save an informant named Nikolai. This isn't really relevant to the story or the video, but it's insane to me how far this seemingly insignificant side character goes in the story. Nonetheless, in our one-to-one Persian Gulf War replica, the Marines are pushing through this nameless Middle Eastern city. At some point, two major things happen. One, the Marines reach a building where Al-Assad is broadcasting his propaganda speech. They clear the building and find out it's a pre-recording, so he's most likely not even in the city, but he's 100% not here. The second thing is, at some point, the US forces realize there's a nuclear bomb in the city and ordered an immediate retreat for everyone in the blast radius. Sergeant Jackson and his team are evacuating when an adjacent helicopter gets shot down. Although he's a ranger and not a Marine, they decide no man left behind and immediately attempt to rescue her. Shout out to the diversity. Anyways, their rescue is successful, but before they can get out of the blast radius, yeah, the nuke goes off. While Al-Assad was responsible for this grievous attack, none other than Vladimir Makarov was responsible. And you're probably thinking, why? Why the fuck would you nuke an innocent city? Hold that thought, because at this point in time, Price and the gang are ignorant to Makarov's involvement. Either way, all of us know Assad is the perpetrator. So Price went to go ask the man himself. So after getting beat the hell up, Assad remains silent, but he gets a phone call.
Sir, it's his cell phone. Who was that, sir?
Zakhaev. Imran Zakhaev.
As they're asking who the fuck is Zakhaev, we're asking why the hell would Makarov nuke a city? Well, we go 15 years into the past for one of many legendary missions. So a young Lieutenant Price and Captain McMillan are in the infamous Ukraine. They manage to sneak through the city and make it to an abandoned high-rise where they wait to crash an arms deal between Zakhaev and some unknown third party. After a very long test of patience, then Lieutenant Price shoots a 50 caliber round at Zakhaev in an assassination attempt. The round blows Zakhaev's arms off and everyone scatters. Price and McMillan assume that Zakhaev died from the bullet itself or blood loss, as I don't think there's many people who survived a 50 caliber bullet round, but McMillan didn't have time to stick around and find out if Zakhaev actually died or not, and neither did Makarov, because it turns out him and a future unnamed character were there for the deal, and they saved Zakhaev's life. And this is where I jumped in. Bro, you nuked a city because some British guy sniped your friend? That seems like a massive unjustified overreaction in my opinion, but hey, I'm just some dumbass on YouTube. Nonetheless, we don't find out about Makarov's involvement until many years later, so it's unclear to me if it was Zakhaev or Makarov who helped Assad nuke the Middle East, because Makarov was there and tells them to detonate the bomb. Oh, well, I guess that kind of solves it, doesn't it? But like, Zakhaev is still alive, and we didn't know about Makarov at that point in time. So, and then also Zakhaev calls Assad after the bomb goes off. So, you know what would be crazy? If Makarov nuked the city, Zakhaev didn't know, and Zakhaev was calling Assad because he thought Assad nuked the city. And like, he was kind of like, what the f is going on? Nonetheless, just like earlier, Price and the gang are ignorant to Makarov's involvement, so they believe that Zakhaev nuked this city. They have some tough luck finding Zakhaev, so they decide to go after what's closest to him. Task Force 101 headed by Price and Griggs. I can't remember who's actually the leader of the Ranger side of Task Force 1041. Just let me know. They end up capturing Zakhaev's son, but before apprehending him, Zakhaev's son commits seppuku, in which Griggs responds,
Shit, kid's got some issues.
Zakhaev is obviously mad about the death of his son, which is understandable, but his son was following in his footsteps as an arm dealer, among other unnamed illegal careers, so it was either this or jail. And it's funny how, after watching his father get his arm blown off, he still continues to pursue a career in international crime. Anyways, Zakhaev launches 2 ICBMs at America, carrying 6 nuclear bombs each, for lack of a better word. Yeah, Task Force 141 raids the launch site, and with around 5 minutes to spare, they get the codes to self-destruct the missiles harmlessly over the ocean. I'm assuming the Atlantic Ocean. Task Force 141 attempts to escape when they're cut off by Zakhaev's men. In a final stand, Griggs dies due to bad judgment, and Gaz is executed by none other than Zakhaev. Price slides Soap a pistol, which he uses to finally kill Zakhaev. And what's crazy is, this is just a catalyst to further even more crazier events. But let's wrap it up so far. Zakhaev presumably starts the Russian Civil War and in some way involved in the assassination and coup d'etat of a foreign nation. He or his subordinate nukes a city for no clear reason. He attempts but fails to nuke the eastern seaboard. Among other war crimes, he executes an incapacitated British soldier, and yeah, I mean, Zakhaev's run was brief but very eventful, which was a direct catalyst to this Hall of Fame villainous run by his subordinate that not only inherited his forces but his influence. To clear it up, I said that Griggs dies to bad judgment is because, like, when he dies, he's trying to save your life and he drags you into the middle of the street, right? And it's kind of like, where were you trying to take us? Because it's not like he got shot and then had dropped us in the middle of the street. He like took us from Price to the middle of the street. He wasn't taking us to cover on the other side of the bridge. He just kind of dropped us in the middle of the street and then started shooting and ended up dying because, well, he was woefully outnumbered, which that was the logical explanation. But honestly, he died for plot because, I mean, you can't shoot Zakhaev if you're incapacitated behind a car. Let me switch in for a second. This is about to get wicked and I haven't been able to interject thus far, but we are about to jump into Modern Warfare 2 and Makarov's generational run. Alright, that's enough filibustering. Let's go. Zakhaev becomes a Russian hero and even gets a goddamn statue. It's odd because he doesn't even control all of Russia. I'm assuming, like, in game it's like the modern day Yemen situation. I digress though. Makarov has also upgraded. He is now accused of torture, human trafficking, and genocide. We meet Makarov for the first time during the most infamous COD mission of all time. No Russian. There's a cat trying to get in here. Turns out it's never been confirmed why Makarov says, quote, no Russian. The two theories that stuck out to me though are, one, he's teasing you with foreshadowing because you are in fact no Russian. Or, number two, at the end of the incident, the country will assume there was no Russian involved. Nonetheless, Makarov nonchalantly launches an indiscriminate act of pure terrorism, and I cannot find the proper adverbs to describe the mercilessness shown by Makarov during this attack. Eventually, this turns into a firefight that the squad is more than prepared for. Like, they got noob tubes, LMGs, and surprisingly M4s. Now that I think about it, they're using American weapons to enhance the ruse. Expert manipulator. So anyways, Makarov has an escape plan, but as we continue to spy on him and whatnot, we try to get into said van and, well,
You sent a strong message with this attack, Makarov. That was no message. This is a message.
The Americans thought he could deceive us. When they find out behind, all of Russia will cry for war.
Off camera, Makarov then frames America for the attack, and given recent events, that isn't an unlikely scenario outside of the event itself. Nonetheless, Soap and the gang go after the man who dealt the weapons for the No Russian Massacre. But more importantly, Russia, for lack of a better explanation, hacks the US early warning system and launches an invasion of the US East Coast. Crazy. Even in fictional Call of Duty, no one wants any beef with the Pacific Fleet. Anyways, while this is carried out by the traditional Russian military, this is directly influenced by Makarov's antics. So the invasion is brutal and ruthless, given the unfortunate ignorance of the invading army, but we got destroyed buildings, we got fighting in the streets, suburbs turned into ghost towns. I mean, it literally looks unwinnable. But some funny things to note. I hope I can find it. I really hope I can find it. But there's a Russian soldier raiding this guy's fridge. And normally I'd find it funny and make like some kind of MRE joke or whatever. But it's actually funnier that this is happening given recent events. So the Battle of Virginia rages as Soap and the gang prepare a retaliatory attack. Surprisingly enough, one of the protagonists says something along the lines of, when we catch Makarov, we're gonna that bastard from a tree.
That's all we got. If this con's the bait to catch that psychopath, let's hang him from a tree.
And if you know how this ends, that is insane foreshadowing. This next part has nothing to do with Makarov or Zakhaev, so we're just gonna speed run it. Soap and the gang raid an oil rig, very sexy, very demure. They take out the SAM sites on the oil rig. I'm assuming we are still waiting 5 to 10 business days for that Arleigh Burke to show up, so that's why they had to do it. That clears a path for a retaliatory strike, but Soap and the gang need to extract a special prisoner. So they raid the gulag, and after a lot of fighting, they find prisoner 627, and it turns out to be Captain motherfucking Price. So they rescue Price and bring him back to HQ. Then we check back in on America. Fuck! So Price pulls the oldest trick in the book for some good old plausible deniability and decides to raid a Russian ballistic sub. And I'm presuming no one knew the exact nature of this mission, but nonetheless, Price says cover him as he goes into the submarine alone, where he allegedly fires a nuke! And I mean, hey, we'll add that to the resume, but it's not canon, wink wink, you know what I'm saying? At the same time, Shepard gets a blank check and presumably control of the entire US military, which, who was the last person to notably have that power? MacArthur? I don't know. Just tap me in, bro. I know like there's supposed to be someone that has that power at all times, but I don't fucking know, bro. I haven't tapped in a minute. Anyways, Sergeant Foley clears out the White House, which turned into a fortress. Fortunately, this wasn't the only victory in DC, much less the entire eastern seaboard, as the Russian invasion has basically grinded to a halt at this point. Anyways, that ends Makarov destroying the freaking East Coast, but I wonder if he was involved in this next event. So we get the drop on Makarov's last two hideouts, right? Ghost, Roach, and Ozone take the house in some obscure country here, while Soap and Price sneak into a boneyard in, I believe, Afghanistan. As we all know, Makarov is in fact not at the safe house, but he left his computer and we're about to dox his ass, alright? So they start downloading his Discord logs, for lack of a better word. But remember, this is 2008, 2009. Gee, what? Bro, tell me why I thought Modern Warfare 2 dropped in like 2012, bro. What the hell is going on? Anyways, it's 2008, bro. There's a Titans player on the Madden cover, bro. It's been that goddamn long. This isn't 5G LTE, even though sometimes that be booty too. So this is gonna take a while. So they are fighting, and at some point Price says something along the lines of, something is afoot. Something smells fishy. We're going radio silent. I promise you he did not actually sound like that. It was a little more disgruntled, if I use that word correctly. But anyways, after he says, yo, something's afoot, we gotta go radio silent. Ghost and them basically respond, say less. We grab the motherfucking module and we start hauling more ass than a horse dealer, alright? Hauling more ass than a coyote swat Miata. I feel like that's actually a thing. Anyways, eventually we make it to the landing zone where we get greeted by General Shepard himself, which is odd that he would personally fly to this obscure country to capture Makarov or whatever. I don't know why he's here, but anyways, for no clear reason, he shoots Roach and goes after stealing the module. Well, he didn't steal it. We kind of just handed it to him because we didn't think he was going to shoot us in the fucking gut. I'm assuming he did this to take all the glory from capturing Makarov, but the crazy thing is, he could have just went after Makarov without telling Task Force 141, rather than murdering 2 British soldiers, bruh. What the fuck? And I say 2 because at the time of writing this, I have no idea what happens to Ozone. It turns out there was actually another person there. I forgot his name. But Ghost and Soap definitely got shot and burned alive. We don't get 100% that nigga died for Ozone and fuck, what was his name? Okay, so Ozone and Scarecrow die off camera. According to Google, Ozone can die anytime after the DSM finishes, all right? After that module thing I talked about finishes downloading. And then Scarecrow just dies off camera. Like, he gets trapped in a minefield or something. Anyways, oh, speaking of that minefield, I think if you keep Ozone alive, that's literally as far as he goes. He literally stops to defend you, and then he dies by either catching a mortar, shrapnel, or just getting shot. Anyways, Price loses his mind and starts spouting Madara levels of villainy before he and Soap raids Shepard's headquarters before chasing him through a river, shooting down his helicopter, and fighting him to the death. Price actually loses this fight, but Soap regains consciousness in time to hit Shepard with a throwing knife. And as a 9-year-old, I found this really hard to believe, but there are legitimate fucking axe throwers out there. So GG's, ball up top Shepard, Yosh is finished, boy. Anyways, yeah, Makarov was mostly in the background for this arc. Nonetheless, we have enough to charge him with one of the fattest Ricos of all time, or since, I guess, Lil Durk, which was like not even a month ago, but still, it's a large ass Rico. But in the final arc, he steps out of the shadows to get his hands dirty and to finally tie this resume together. And it's a pretty goddamn resume. If you watch some of my recent like anime reviews and whatnot, you'll hear me say the phrase like, that's cool, it should be a part of the resume, it shouldn't be the resume. Well, yeah, this final chapter is the resume for Makarov. All that other stuff we mentioned is great accumulations, great belts, okay, great badges on the chest per se, but this is the resume. His actions in the final months of his reign are really the bow on top, bro. It's the creme de la creme. So after the Battle of New York, Russia gets pushed out of the country, and they should be proud that they made it this far. Now it's time to get wicked, alright? So in the motherland, we're flying on Russian Air Force One, which does not have a nickname or an acronym if you look it up. It's literally like Russian Air Force One is literally a heavily modified airliner, which to be fair, so is Air Force One, but Air Force One is far cooler of a name than IL followed by model name and number. Anyways, the illusion gets raided and the personal guard fights tooth and nail, and well, just as optimism arises, the plane gets shot down, and guess who's behind it? Makarov. He beats us to the president, where he promptly kidnaps him and executes his personal guard. So damn, what's that? That's murder and kidnapping. I'm pretty sure there's enhancing charges for doing it to the fucking president. Fast forward, Soap, Yuri, and Price attempt to capture some secret cargo again, but this time they are too late. The SAS intercepts the package in London, and they open it up to figure out what it is. Then
She gets that from you.
Makarov just used biowarfare on not just London, but every non-Slavic country in Europe, and simultaneously launched an invasion of Europe, which I don't know why he would do this, but hey, not my monkey, not my circus. Shortly after, Price gets his hands on Warabe, the man who shipped the bombs to the European cities, and I will just let Price take it from here.
Gas masks on. Look familiar.
No, please!
Where's Makarov? Tell me and it's yours.
Our contact was a man named Volk. We never met Makarov.
Where's this Volk?
Paris! He oversaw the delivery in Paris!
Right then. This is for the boys at Hereford.
Price finds out about a man named Vogt, who is the man who made the chemicals Makarov used to indiscriminately bomb Europe. So he sends Sandman and Delta Force after him, and, well, they nab him. Vogt gets interrogated off camera and spills the beans. He spills all the beans, he even opened the can for him, alright? So now we're deep in enemy territory. No pause! Because we got the drop on Makarov. So Yuri and Soap go on a nice and intense stealth mission to their spot. And I'm so mad that I didn't play this game online when it was hyped, because this looks like the most OP sniper of all fucking time, and it looks good. Anyways, they get posted up in a church tower while Price infiltrates the building Makarov is allegedly meeting in. Unfortunately, Kamarov either set us up or got compromised. Either way, bro, shit hits the fan. And Makarov detonates the second floor where Price is on, and says something I missed on my first two playthroughs before destroying the church tower.
You never should have
What the
come
hell's he
here.
talking about? Get out now!
Two things. Kamarov definitely set us up. That snitched. Because if he just got captured or just snitched on us while he got caught in the building, Makarov would have only blown up the second floor. How the fuck did he know someone was in the charge tower? Specifically Yuri! Also, I'm talking about how much of a menace Makarov is, and I didn't mention he strapped this man to an office chair with C4 charges! Moving on, Soap and Yuri escape the church tower with no shortage of injuries when Price comes over to help evacuate Soap among pure, unadulterated chaos. I don't even know what unadulterated means, but I felt like that was a great adverb to describe how much fucking chaos there is. Eventually, they drag Soap to the safe house and attempt to save his life, whilst the safe house is getting raided. While on the operation table, Soap is fading in and out of consciousness, but he's conscious. When he's conscious, he's trying to get Price's attention. Eventually, he just grabs the fucker and says,
Makarov knows. Yuri.
Oh no! Soap! No!
those were his final words. Soap dies 4 missions before the end of the conflict. Technically 3. The last one is just tying up some loose ends. Price then has the very unreasonable but justified response of punching Yuri down a flight of stairs, and basically says, you better answer this next question very carefully.
Soap trusted you. I thought I could too. So why in bloody hell does Makarov know you?
Anyways, we get the rundown of how Yuri was there for the Zakhaev assassination attempt, the No Russian massacre, even the place that Assad nuked. But fuck all that. Let's get negative! Price and Delta Force saved the Russian president and his daughter. Unfortunately, Sandman and his team sacrificed themselves. Me personally, though, I'd rather clam into a... What helicopter is this? A Black Hawk? I don't know, bro. I'm not tapped in on helicopters. Anyways, I'd rather cram into insert helicopter here than be crushed to death or buried alive. After this, Russia surrenders, or in this case, comes to a peace agreement. Put a pin in that. Price and Yuri spin the block in juggernaut suits. That's the shit I like to see. So anyways, they finally got good intel on Makarov's location, and they leave no stone unturned. They pull up and literally obliterate the parking lot. Absolutely bully the entrance in the first floor. They eventually get in an elevator, and a helicopter essentially blows up the elevator. Yuri and Price escape because they're fucking awesome. Don't you say the P word. Don't say it. They're just him. All right. They reach the top floor where Makarov is escaping, and another helicopter pulls up and just level's the floor. Price is relatively unscathed, but Yuri is impaled on some kind of metal cable. Yuri says, "The fuck you looking at me for? Get his ass!" So Price sprints up the collapsed floor to the roof through sheer adrenaline, lack of judgment, and sheer disregard for self-preservation. He jumps on the helicopter, where he hits the pilot with a mean two-piece before throwing his bitch ass out the helicopter. He stabs the co-pilot in the neck, then proceeds to crash the fucking helicopter like goddamn Summers in that fucking car he rented. That's actually a song by Autumn. I feel so bad for his fan base, bro. Why can't he just stay in the house and make music, bro? It's like, look. So yeah, Price crashed the helicopter into the very building he wrecked to kill this guy. Somehow, Price and Makarov survive the crash. Makarov beats Price to the gun because this fucker just always gets to the gun in time, apparently. But right when you think it's over, out of pure hatred and a lust for revenge, Yuri shoots Makarov either through the shoulder or upper chest. Makarov then shoots Yuri 3 times, and he could have survived the first 2, but the third one hit him in the face. Yeah, so no Yuri cameos. After that, we get the best ending to a COD game ever!
We are packing the air, this gas what? It still be alive.
I might have to censor that. Remember when Ghost said we're gonna that fucker from a tree? Well, he got his wish in the end. Alright, we're gonna freestyle the outro real quick, but we got 3 characters to rank here between Makarov, Price, and Zakhaev. I even have Shepard in here. Oh my goodness. So we will start with Zakhaev. Zakhaev, he was pretty cool. Nice little background villain. He didn't really do well. He did a lot. He sent a nuke, almost nuked the Eastern Seaboard. He killed a soldier. He was doing arms deals. Yeah, Zakhaev, cool. I felt like he had the building blocks to a good career, like a great respectable run, but it was just cut short too far. Basically, he would have been Makarov had he lived longer, but he didn't. A lot of his stuff happened, so he will just be on the visitors list. He can pull up, he can see everyone type shit. Then we have Makarov S tier run. But here's the thing, does it go up against Starkiller? No, Makarov was a real demon for real. No, he nuked the city. He just was executing motherfuckers. Like, he personally executed what, 3 people on his thing? Like, he executes a goddamn the FBI agent, like Joseph Allen. He shoots the personal guard. He shoots Yuri. He shoots someone else. I can't even remember who the fuck he is, bro. He is just literally, he starts a war. He gasses a city. Yo, Makarov is him. Is he as good as Menendez? I don't know, but Makarov, even though this doesn't show his face, he is 100% in the round table. He is like a tier above the people we have now. Not quite Menendez, but you could make a strong argument. If I get a good enough argument, I can move him up to Hall of Fame. But as of right now, he is the first member in the round table. And then we have Captain Price. Captain Price does a lot, bro. That motherfucker box, he goes through all 3 of the games. He's a part of the Ukraine mission. He kills Makarov. He fights Shepard. He probably could have killed him if he wasn't brutally injured or whatnot. Goddamn, he shoots down the damn helicopter. Yo, Price's interactions with the villains you capture are priceless, bro. He gets Al-Assad. He's beating the shit out of Al-Assad. Al-Assad don't want to talk. His phone rings. Picks up the phone, doesn't say a word, just listens. Hears the voice, hangs up, throws the phone, shoots Assad. It's Zakhaev. Immediately knew. Gangsta. Yo, he gets a hold of homeboy Warabe. He comes into the room, straight business, mask on. Everybody puts the skis on. He takes the gas, the very gas he used to nuke Europe, lights it up like a goddamn flare, throws it in the corner room. Start talking. All right, gets boy to start yapping. He's like, this is for the boys back home. Shoots his dumb ass on the spot. Price don't play. I don't even think I can say what he does to Makarov on YouTube. Price that good, bro. I don't give a fuck. It's not left or right, but Price goes at the top of Hall of Fame. I can't do. I guess I have to do it that way. Price is that good. Price is that for real. And you know what? If someone asks for it, we could do a dedicated video for Captain Price. It would be just kind of like, because you know this was about Zakhaev and Makarov, but Price is that good for real. He's invited to the cookout. Price is that guy, bro. But anyways, next up on the list, we have General Shepard in here. He was really in the background. I feel like he's important enough to the story to be in the visitors list. But the thing is, unless you listen to the cutscenes, he doesn't really do much of anything. I don't even know why he's on here, but he will be our first reject at this point. He does not get into the house whatsoever. He can't even visit. But anyways, next up on the list will probably be Master Chief. If not, it'll be either Altair, Enzio, whoever. Altair, goddamn Clementine, I forget his name, or Snake, and then there's more that I could probably add here, but you know, I've been going back and forth. So the next one is going to be some type of movie or anime review, and then when we get back to the house, it will be the Master Chief from the original trilogy. Anyways, that's gonna do it. I'm about to go play some Car X Street. But anyways, until we meet again in the comments or the next one, remember, if you know man, because we know we have next, sponsored by Atari, and